Hello, just wanting to alert everyone to low stock on a few items in the EU Webstore. These are eyeball counts. I'll get to that in a second. We've got 10 copies left of the 6x6 magical missile method in the EU Webstore. Just 10. One copy of the Cursed Chateau and one copy of Towers 2 left. And I didn't. I found 3 of the Adventure Anthology slipcases that was sitting in the back of the storage room. And I did an eyeball count. We've got less than 50 left of the slipcase Disastrum sets. Now, I just want to say with these numbers, these are all eyeball counts. I mean, if a box is in the wrong place, maybe we've got almost 60, maybe we've got less than 40 left. And for example, I was like consolidating some boxes. I found 2 copies of Midwinter, which I've added back up into the store. So these are all eyeball copies. If I find something in 6 months in a box, sorry. But that's what we've got. We've also got... still got a few dozen sets of Weird Crushers. These are mini adventures and supplements. For every item you buy in the EU Webstore, you get one of these for free. And if you buy 4 or more, you get the Floating Tower of Atlantis by D.M. Ritzlin, which I would think you want. Yeah. And I'm saying this now about this because beginning of June is the North Texas RPG Convention, and I'm... hopefully won't need to, but, I'm going to be shipping a supply of these down there because that's where old school collectors are, and that seems like a natural fit for them, but I would rather not have to go through the expense of shipping them like that, so if you want to... But basically, even if I have some left in the EU Webstore by mid-May when I got to ship them out, they may be going bye-bye. So especially if you're in Europe and you want this, I would take steps. And yeah, that's the stuff we're low stock on right now. I also encourage you, if you haven't already bought Hyena Child, we've still got a supply of those. And I'm going to do about Disastrum. We're selling this as both the slipcase and the standard edition, which is just the 3 books. So, Disastrum will still be available if you don't get the slipcase edition, but I do want to address something. I'm sure I've addressed this in the channel, but I've been getting emails about it again. This is from book 1, and the books are the same. It's the same books in the standard edition that go in the slipcase. But, orientation for the referee, the very beginning of the book. The book offers an event-based scenario, a wilderness point crawl, a space warp crawl, and a sourcebook for a 1633 Virginia in the midst of colonization of 2 kinds. The colonization of North America by Europeans, and the colonization of the Earth by castaways from the 5th dimension. Notice that it does not say hex crawl. The hex maps that come in the slipcase edition were conceived of after the fact, after the main books were done, and we were just waiting for the art to get finished. The layout was done, we were just looking for the art to fill the holes, waiting for that, and we decided to do the deluxe edition, and that's when the hex maps were conceived of and done. They were never part of the core product. The hex maps... Again, this is a wilderness point crawl. The hex maps were not intended. They were just a bit of extra cool flash that apparently the flash is so good that people have the idea that they were necessary to use the product, which is not the case. The actual maps you need to use the product are in the books. We've got them in the end papers, which I'm not going to give you too good a look at, because then... it's like, here's the stuff about the actual Disastrum. Here's, area map, which is, not a cool hex crawl, but again, point crawl technology was always the point. So I've been getting emails about that, and I just wanted to clarify that. If you want the cool hex maps, It's the slipcase version. You know, the slipcase. What else does it have that the standard version doesn't have? Well, it's got both player and referee hex maps. The player one's pretty much empty. The referee one has an expanded random encounter, random village generator. You know, more basic versions of those are in the books themselves. The screen, which is a compilation of various tables that are in the standard edition, and character sheets and expedition sheets, you know, in addition to the slipcase itself. And there was, you know, handcrafted work getting the cloth material and the pressing done, because they were done in such low quantities. So handmade in Finland. Well, partially handmade. I'm sure some of this was actually machine worked. So yeah, that's just a note about the Disastrum there and what we're low stock on. I would encourage you to order soon if you're wanting one, because I really think in a couple months the slipcase versions aren't going to be found, so make sure you're one of the ones with them. Sales.